On today's version of Words with Friends, we are going to go over some of the really big words that they use to describe all of these problems with Echo's brain. What's wrong with me? Why are they saying all these big things like Pseudotumor Cerebri and Idiopathic intracranial hypertension? It's a whole nother language. Well, yeah, it kind of is. But, I mean, if you break it down, it's really simple. And then you might be able to understand some of the things that they're trying to say and why they all kind of sort of make sense. And what the brain's trying to do. That's how they describe what the brain's doing. Not necessarily why, but what's going on in there. So I'm going to kind of break it down to you with the words. And we'll tackle that just a little bit. It may not be the exact meaning of the words, but it's kind of like a contextual meaning. Like what's going on with me specifically. So don't take it like, oh, that's what that word means. No, this is what it means when it comes to me and this brain right here, okay? So we're gonna go over it with this brain. This brain right here. Okay? But there's also general meanings to these words. Just letting you know. All right, so don't get too dizzy. Dizzy. Ooh, dizzy. All right. You gotta look at my ceiling and all sorts of craziness. All right. Pseudo. So pseudo, we all know that that's a word that means like make-believe or made up, right? Not real. Not real. Oh God, this is so weird to do this on a phone. Not real. Okay. Made-believe. Like, it's not real. Like a pseudonym or somebody that's writing under like a different author's name, or it's kind of sort of like it, but it's not that. It's fake. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's a fake version of something. Right? It's a fake version of something. That's what pseudo means, right? And tumor, I mean, we all know what a tumor is. Like a growth. Ugh, it's a growth. Not a bad growth or good growth. Just a growth. Like a tumor is a growth. Okay? Everybody thinks cancer. Oh my God, cancer! No, well, a tumor can be cancer. But a tumor is just a growth. Okay, people? Everybody just skips immediately to the horribleness, but yeah, it can be, but literally it's just growth. Okay, well look, see, with me we're looking at fake. Okay, fake. So you put the two words together, fake. Okay, cerebri meaning like the brain, right? This is the brain. Oh, okay, so my body is faking itself out. It thinks that it has a growth in the brain. I don't have a growth in the brain. There's nothing there. I've had MRIs, I've had all sorts of CAT scans and everything else. There is nothing in there, okay? But I have this weird syndrome that my body keeps thinking that there's something in there. And there's nothing there. But this weird syndrome that I have, my body thinks that there's something in there. It's faking itself out. It's saying, oh my gosh, I think there's something there in your brain. So I'm going to act like there's something there. So that's why you put these two things together, right? So pseudotumor, like there's a fake tumor. Like, we're faking ourselves out that there's a tumor. Like, we were making believe that there's a tumor in your brain. So my entire body is making believe that there's a tumor in my brain. So it's going to have all those same things. It's like, oh, there's a tumor. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have a tumor in my brain. But there isn't one. So obviously there's nothing to remove. There's nothing to go after. And there's no way to cure it. But it's going to have all the same symptoms, so anything that your body would normally do if you had a brain tumor, it's going to do, which means this is going to create a lot of extra fluids around your brain, and try to tell your body, oh my gosh, there's a tumor in there, get rid of it, there's something in there, is there something wrong? Oh no, there's something wrong, there's a tumor. But there isn't. So it's kind of faking me out. So that's one way of describing what's wrong with me. And that's the one that I tattooed on myself, see? In case I go down and nobody is there to tell the EMS what's wrong. Well, you can kind of sort of see it. It's around there. Anyways. Because it has to do with the brain. Like the cerebri things on the brain. So hopefully they'll like kind of sort of get it. Well, the 18-year-olds that are riding on the truck. Anyway. Now here's the other words with friends, okay? This is one of my favoriteest word in the whole wide world. Idiopathic. Oh my goodness, y'all, look this one up. This is so much fun. Alright. Alright. Okay, again, this is not for my researchy peoples. My researchy peoples, go away, get out of this video, go have fun with your idiopathic whatevers. This is for my friends and my nurses that want to laugh and watch this with me. Idiopathic, honestly, okay. Idiopathic means we have no clue why this is happening. Okay, seriously. I hate to debunk all of my medical friends and family. Idiopathic really truly means we don't know why this happened. Like, this happened for no, honest to God, like, the reasoning behind this happening, we do not know. Like, we do not know what caused this. This has happened. We cannot find a cause, or we're too lazy to look for one. That happens too, okay? When somebody calls it idiopathic, they've just exhausted all the resources, and they just don't want to look for a cause. But anyways, idiopathic really truly describes something that happens like there's no identifiable cause to make it happen. I mean, they can call it like, sometimes they call fractures idiopathic fractures because nothing actually hit the bone to break the bone, but the bone itself was just so brittle and fragile it just went crunch down on its own self. And they call that an idiopathic fracture, but is more related to the fact that the bone is so brittle. So that's like one use of it. But with me, they just call it idiopathic just because they like have no clue why this is happening. Or they don't want to get involved in trying to find it down the rabbit hole. Check the other videos. This one's getting too long. But the rabbit hole's like that. But yeah, idiopathic really truly means. Like pathy means like why? Like what kind of medical problem caused this? Like that's the cause. Like that's the cause, like the cause, the medical reason. Like, did my high blood pressure cause it? No, I do not have high blood pressure, so that was not a medical cause, you know. So there's no medical cause. So we have no idea. Idiopathic, all right. So intracranial, okay, so inside the head, right? Cranium bringing the brain case. That's our brain case. Brain case. Literally. Literally. That's your brain case. Yeah, that's our brain case. That's literally like, you know, the hole in your skull holds the brain. So intracranial. So that's your brain case. And then intracranial, I mean, that's the fluid. So the fluid, so, okay, so that's the fluid that goes into, like, the spine also, right? So we got the fluid, it goes all the way down into the spine and the neck. So, you know, we got the brain case, and then the fluid goes in the spine and neck and comes back into the brain case. So we got intracranial, right? Intracranial. And then hypertension. Everybody's heard about hypertension, right? The high blood pressure, hypertension, high pressure. Okay. The high pressure that everybody hears about, oh my gosh, hypertension is the leading cause. That's vascular hypertension, y'all. That's the hypertension that happens with your blood in your blood vessels, around your heart, yada, yada, yada. This is intracranial, okay? So we're talking about, you know, high pressure. God, this is difficult to write when I'm looking through this thing. Okay, high pressure, right? It's high pressure in the fluid that goes around my spine and my neck. So, we have no idea why this is happening, but you have high pressure that's going around in the fluid that goes in your spine and your neck. Yep, that's the translation. You have no idea, but you have high pressure in the fluid that goes through your spine and your neck. Or your body is faking you out and thinks that you have a growth around your brain, so it's going to do all of the things that a body would do if you have a growth around your brain, which is making extra fluid that goes around your spine and your neck. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just this is like the easier way of saying it, but they're getting away from that because pretty much like this is the main symptom that I'm having, and so they want to just call this like a thing all on its own, whereas this is more like a body faking itself out, and there could be a whole bunch of different symptoms that come with it. So they want to call this is one singular symptom, the one singular thing that you have going on, which is the high pressure of the fluid that goes into your spine and your neck. Whereas this is like, oh, you have a fake version of something in your brain and your body's saying, oh no! And there's no singular, you know, well, what is it? What symptom are you having? You know? Because there could be other things, you know, there could be, you know, vision problems. There could be other lots of things. You know, you could be having a stroke. Yeah, your body could like making you have a stroke from this. You know, but they call it this, but they also call it this. It's very confusing. But I put this on my medical alert because if I put this, I mean, you got an EMT and they say idiopathic intracranial hypertension, and they look at that and they'll be like, "Oh, you got high blood pressure?" No, I don't have high blood pressure. I mean, if I didn't put this on there, I probably would have just put brain problem and let them figure it out. But I decided to put this on there just because, I mean, it was as close as I was going to get, and hopefully, you know, the fact that this is brain-ish would be good. But yeah, that's the translation of things. I hope that my scribblings helps a little bit. But that's how my brain tends to translate things. And that's how you gotta break things down, you know? You gotta break it down like word by word, piece by piece, to really kind of translate and know what people are talking about. And then really ask, because, you know, case by case, it can mean different things. It can really mean different things in person to person. So, but that's me, and see, literally that's how my brain works right now. It is not a very organized brain. I mean, if you were trying to diagnose and look and write, how is your brain working right now? Yeah. But it's working, so this is good. But anyhow, any questions about like the wording and how, you know, the diagnosis is worded and how to break it down more into simpler words to understand it, just let me know. All right, thanks.